welcome to the Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy Holistic Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Beverly. For the next four podcasts, I'm going to be talking about the summit, the Holistic Transformation Summit that I host once a year. It's on March 22nd. And so each podcast will talk about one group of topics that I'll present at the summit so that you can get an idea of what you might be interested in. So let me just do a share screen. It's usually a green thing and I don't see it. There it is. Share. Okay, should be able to see it now. So this is the February 24th podcast, and it's one of four. And so this one will talk about the galactic and solar changes. So the summit is holistictransformationsummit.com, and it's on March 22nd. Starts at 9 a.m. It'll be about 4 hours. And let's just go to the next page. There we go. So I'm going to talk today about the science of 2025, the galactic and solar changes. So next week, oh, I didn't fix this. Next week will be about, anyway, we'll fix it next week. This is the wrong thing. I fixed it and didn't change that. Sorry about that. But this week is galactic and solar changes. Okay, so the galactic center. So we live in a galaxy. I'm sure you know that. It's called the Milky Way. So the galactic center is the center of the Milky Way, and its energy is affecting us. So this year is a major shift for human consciousness. And it's because of the galactic, the solar, which is our sun, and the other suns within our galaxy are creating energetic frequencies that will cause transformation, because these cosmic radiation frequencies will affect our DNA. So scientists have said we have junk DNA. There's no such thing as junk DNA. It's just DNA that isn't activated. So as you grow, you have a DNA that says produce growth hormones. So you grow from an infant to an adult. When you become an adult, it says don't turn on the growth hormone anymore. Just use it for repairing the body, so you don't keep growing after you're an adult. So DNA can be turned on and off as we grow and mature. And what's going to happen is DNA that affects our consciousness is being turned on. It's been being turned on for a very long time. For me, it started in the 90s, and it's accelerated every year. But 2025 is going to be a pivotal year because of where we are in the galaxy and all the other energies that are going on right now. So we'll be talking about that, and we're going to talk about some of the scientific studies that they have done on gamma rays and solar cycles. We'll also talk about solar maximum and solar minimums. So every 11 years, the sun has a solar minimum, which means fewer sunspots, fewer solar flares. And then every 11 years, we have a solar maximum. And we are in a solar maximum, and those flares affect us. So the sun shoots a flare, it hits the earth, and if you're on, it takes a couple days for the flare to go from the sun to the earth. And if you're on the side of the earth when it hits, you get heavily affected. So you might be going along just fine, and all of a sudden you're tired, or you've got a headache or whatever. You just got hit by a solar flare. Well, these flares don't just affect you, they also affect the earth. We'll talk more about that in a second. So we'll talk about the impact of those events on earth and on humanity. They affect our biofield, Now, you'll hear a lot of people, there's a lot of podcasts. Oh, do you have ascension symptoms? You know, they call it ascension symptoms. This is what it's caused by. It's caused by these solar flares, and it's caused because the Schumann resonance. So this is the frequency of the Earth. I think it's 7.4 something, is the frequency that the Earth resonates at. And humans need that frequency to exist. You get sick outside of that frequency. Well, when we get hit with that solar flare, the Schumann resonance goes up, the Earth frequency goes up, the Earth vibration frequency is how we measure vibration. So the Earth vibration goes up. And we're going to talk more about that, what that means, how it's affecting the Earth, and then how it affects us and how we can align with it so that we don't have negative effects as it hits. So we will have what's called light bodies. So some people are saying, well, we're actually going to glow. Well, if your third eye is open, you will sometimes meet people and you can see a golden halo around their head, or you can see some of their chakras or some parts of their body actually shining. And if you can't, you can probably feel it or sense it, or you may hear it. Animals and young babies and young children all know, see, and feel this. They experience it as part of their world. It's just as we grow up, we tend to put it aside because nobody talks about it because it's woo-woo. But now people are going to start experiencing it and seeing it. So what happens when you start to see this in people? I actually met someone, I think his name was Larry Hag. No, it wasn't Larry Hag. I forgot his name. He ran for president for I forgot the name of the party, Natural Law Party, back in the 90s. And I went to a talk he was giving, and I could literally see a golden halo around his head. It was amazing. He's the only person I've seen with a golden halo like that, but I haven't met everybody. I have met a living Buddha who, when he gave a talk, we would be transported into another world surrounded by gold, and then it would be just the two of us, and it would be like he was talking directly to me. That's way beyond seeing an aura around somebody. So these things are possible, and it's going to start happening to everyone in 2025 at different levels, depending on where you are in your spiritual practice. So the connection between biophotons and telepathic evolution will be discussed. So there's science behind what is happening. This is not just woo-woo stuff. And for VIPs at the summit, I will have a scientific study handout so you can dive deeper into cosmic energy and human biology. To be a VIP is only $27, and you get over $1,000 in possible bonus gifts. And most of them are worth 150 each. There is one that's worth 600. Let me just, I think that was the last slide. Yep, that was the last slide. So we'll just do a stop share. So if you go to the summit for free, you need to register, and you can be in Zoom. If you don't want to register, it will be broadcast live on this YouTube channel. I do that every year at my summits. I broadcast them live. So if you don't want to register, you can just tune in on Saturday, the 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So it would be noon Eastern time. If you're in Europe, sometimes Eastern time is easier to figure out. But we'll be on daylight savings by then. So that's 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or noon Eastern Daylight Time, because I know I have an international audience. So you'll have to figure out, I think if you're in Australia, it'll be Sunday. And later, I don't know what time it is in Australia. You'll have to figure it out. I think it will be very early in the morning for you. And in Europe and South Africa, it'll be late in the day for you. But I find that 9, 10 a.m. morning time fits the most number of people globally. So the summit is, if you register, you will get reminders. You get email reminders. If you decide to be a VIP, like I said, it's only $27. I figured most people can afford that. And every year I teach for Success live. So if you know me, you know my for Success program is free. It's pre-recorded. And I recommend if you're going to take it live, you still register in case you miss a day, then you can make it up inside the app, or there's a web version of the app or a smartphone version of the app. So I've decided that I will only teach it live to the VIPs. So for $27, you also get this 37-day program. And each day, I think day one is like 2 minutes. Most of the days, first 30 days are 2 to 3 minutes. I think there's a couple that are 5 minutes, and I think one that's 15 minutes. And then there's a workshop and a 6-week masterclass. And that's all part of the program. It's 37 days. So each day, so let's say you sign up and you log in, you'll be sent a code, you enter the code, and you sign in at 10 o'clock. Well, then each day at 10 o'clock, the next step in the process will automatically open up for you. So you have to come back each day. So the first day is really as simple. It's gather these materials. It couldn't be easier. I don't think you actually start meditating for several days. I get you prepared ahead of time. There's no dogma. There's no, I've had every kind of religion you can think of go through the program, including Muslims. I believe whatever you believe is okay. Whatever word I use, I say God, divine, source, whatever, you substitute your word. So you keep your belief system. I don't want to change your belief system. That's your belief system. I just teach you what you need to know to move forward spiritually. Because I believe you incarnated into your culture, your race, your belief system, your religion for your sole purpose and development. It's not up to me to tell you you're wrong, because you're not wrong. You're on your soul path. So each person here, each human is on their soul journey. So all I'm doing is helping you on that journey. And so this summit is just to help people who are going through a lot in 2025. And January and February were challenging. March will be like January and February on steroids. And April, May, and June will be like March on steroids. Now, after June, especially I think it's June 6th through the 9th, somewhere in there, the energies are going to calm down. But by the time we get there, the world will not be the same as it is today. Okay, so this summit is to help you with that transition, because we're all going to go through it, whether you want to or not. So it's holistictransformationsummit.com. The link is down below. And if you would be kind enough to like, subscribe, and maybe share this with a friend, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us. I really love you, and thank you for being here. And remember to be the light you want to see in the world.